little bit of backstory. So I had the privilege to be asked. It's like I want a security camera on the outside of my house. What do I recommend? In this particular case, the person asking me this wasn't willing to pay the monthly fee for an actual service in which, if there really was, knock on wood, a burglar that broke into their house, that a company would call up the police and arrive at the place. That was not their intention. Their intention was just to be aware of if there's anything around that's happening. And I did a handful of searches and found this particular camera is not bad. Okay, it's not terrible. It does exactly what the person wanted it to do. So it's just an outdoor security camera that the build quality is not bad. Okay, like it's a solid construction. It takes an SD card. It could do 1080p. It's a Wi-Fi antenna. Okay, and then it's so far it's been up for a good 2 years, and realistically, other than like occasionally clearing up the lens with a cloth for any kind of bugs or spider webs or dirt. Otherwise, you can pretty not you can pretty I can't say clearly see who the burglar is if there really was one, but at the very least you can tell that you can tell certain features of the person. But today's video is actually revolving around the notification area of this particular camera, because I gotta say, with Google the past couple months or even to almost 1 year, forcing everybody to turn on their two-factor authentication really destroyed the features of really destroyed the emailing portion of notifications for this camera. So you buy this is a Chinese brand camera, okay, and then they ask you to download an app called CamHi, which I'm on MEmu right now, which emulates Android. I have it installed here, CamHi. Going in here, right now I have 3 cameras, and the one of them is offline. But the point is, going into here, we have a handful of settings that we can do. For example, if there is an alarm, you could go ahead and set which area you want to detect motion, and then click apply. And if there is an alarm, what you would do, you can do here is send an email with pictures, and then it takes 3 pictures and then send it off. Or you can do an SD card recording, which I do have an SD card in this device as well. The problem with what's going on now is because of the two-factor authentication, I wanted to show how you can do this. With the two-factor authentication, especially when they attempt to do the email settings, it won't let you. It always goes, if you do a test, it always fails. So I want to show you how you can overcome this situation. Going into the Gmail, I always recommend having a separate Gmail account to send things to your main account. Or you can have your own separate account sending it to itself, so that it doesn't take up your space. Because in the end, don't forget, if you intended to use Gmail, Gmail only gives you 15 gigs. And if the way that you set the alarm, you're gonna be sending 3 pictures every couple of minutes. Okay, it depends on how depends on the level of sensitivity that you end up setting, because literally it could fire if a fly flew across. It could potentially fire if just rustling of some trees. Okay, so you got to be careful of that. So go into your manage Google account settings. The idea is Google is now forcing every single account to turn on two-factor authentication, two-step verification. And the idea is turn it on. I personally hate it too, but we don't have much of a choice now because they're eventually going to, especially if you have an Android device, your Google account is going, every time you sign into a different place, it's going to ask you to verify your account on your Android device or another device, or even send a text or call you. We can't really get out of that. One of the things that I would probably want to rant, but I don't want to do that right now, is what if your phone really is broken? There's no other way to send it off. Google is a little bit on the nicer side that it can verify using your phone number, your mobile number. So if you just transfer your SIM card over to another phone, it can do a text or a call, which is nice. That's not the same case as the damn Apple devices. Okay, I'm not going to go into that. But the idea is do go for and activate the two-step verification. And I'm going to turn it off after this video because this particular device, this particular email, I rarely use. Okay, turn it on. And then once you turn it on, you get the option. If you go into security here, you get the option to go for app passwords. You would want to do this for CamHi. So verify. You're going to have to punch in your password multiple times. And then the idea is you can select an app that you want to generate the app password for, and then you leave it. Okay, so mine, it's none of these, so I'm just going to go and call it CamHi. Generate. It's going to give you this password. Okay, so copy this down. What you're going to need next is the settings for the email. SMTP server for Gmail is just smtp.gmail.com. I would highly recommend that you use 587 and start TLS with authentication on. This seems to work. Now, username would be the email, yes, the full thing that you are trying to send things off of. Now, if you attempted to use your old password, which this is the old password, and you want to, let's say, send it to yourself. Oops. You want to send it to yourself. This is the receiver's email, and the sender is yourself. So that would be the same email up here. The subject, motion detected, something like that. And then the message is see pictures. And then you hit test. It's not going to work because of the two-factor authentication. The idea would be you're trying to sign into your account to gain access to that Gmail and then send it off to another email, which is the send to portion. Because of the two-factor authentication, CamHi cannot verify it. So the idea now is to turn on the app password so then you can use a one-time password and it would allow you. Now you do that, you hit test. Test success. Hit apply, and then you're good to go.